Hey everybody, this is the Esoteric Cross. In this video, I'm coming to you with a tarot reading. This is about the big changes that are going to be taking place in your life very soon or that are already taking place. So to go ahead and pick your pile, I want you to close your eyes if you're able to, and imagine bright white light at the top of the universe. Breathe in and pull this light through your body and charge the ground beneath you with this light. And then let it move back up through your body and fill your heart center with this golden sphere of energy. Sit with this energy for a moment, and then open your eyes, and the pile that you feel the most drawn to is going to be the pile for you. I have the timestamps listed in the description that will take you to your reading. Hey everybody that chose pile number 1, welcome to your reading. This is about what you need to hear at this moment, and this is also about the big changes that are coming into your life. Starting out with the tarot cards, the first thing that we pulled for you is the Fool card. And this is about taking this journey of self-knowledge. This is about really not being afraid of what's in front of you at this moment and not being afraid of what's behind you, not letting the past control you, and really not worrying too much about the future. So let's see what else we have. We also have the Eight of Swords. Okay, so this can represent some mental anxieties, some mental difficulties at this moment, stuff that you're kind of moving through. Let's get some more cards here. Let's see what we've got. We have the Knight of Wands. So we are moving, we are taking action. And we have the Nine of Cups. And this is the wish card. This is about your wishes coming true. So you getting what you want, finding the emotional fulfillment. Okay, so I think that you're entering this new territory, somewhere that you have not really been before. And I think that this has a lot to do with your emotional space at this time, that you're entering this emotional space that is far beyond what you have done before. This could be like a new relationship, but this could just be new leaps that you're taking when it comes to your emotions and opening up, maybe taking down boundaries, maybe boundaries that are more unnecessary. With this Knight of Wands, this is taking a lot of action within the spiritual direction. Taking action out of your desire. This is also about reaching new heights spiritually. So we have these pyramids in the background of this card, and this represents the spiritual heights that you're about to experience, that you're heading towards. The Knight of Wands is heading into that direction, and it's taking a lot of action. So I feel like at this time you're developing some sort of spiritual practice, or you've had a spiritual practice for some time, or you're making these big changes to your spiritual practice. Maybe you're bringing your awareness or bringing your spirituality into the physical, so you're bringing these things into your actual reality and applying it to the situations, whether this is relationships or friendships or family. Maybe it has to do with the difficulties that you have to overcome within yourself or within your work, but you're able to bring your spirituality into that and overcome certain challenges. With the Eight of Swords, this is also about the challenges or the internal struggles that you have, but this is kind of more of a choice that you're choosing to work through some stuff. You're choosing to work through any kind of mental anxieties that you do have. And I think that you're asking yourself, what can you let go of? And that's a big message for you at this moment. What mental anxieties, what mental baggage can you let go of and release and be okay moving forward? And with this outcome, we have the Nine of Cups. And I was saying that this is the wish card. This is the wish being fulfilled. So this is you actually getting what you want and really enjoying the moment, finding fulfillment within the moment. So everything here is actually really positive. The only thing that's a little scary is the Eight of Swords, but this isn't really a huge deal. This is actually making movement into the direction of clarity. So let's see what else we've got for you. Let's get some more clarity with some oracle cards. Let's see what else we have for you, pile number one. Oh, so we have you and your loved ones are safe. New moon and Cancer. So if any of you have been worried about your loved ones or worried about kind of what's going on when it comes to family and when it comes to relationships or friendships, that everything is going to be okay when it comes to them and their situation. All right. The first thing that I really should have talked about in this reading was this belief card, because this is what you have picked. So I feel like you're being called to focus on your beliefs. Focus on anything that you feel like is holding you back when it comes to what you believe. Like if you believe that things are difficult or things that have to be difficult, then you will increasingly find yourself in very difficult situations. But when you believe that things come easy to you, this is going to shift your energy and you're going to go in that direction where things are easier for you. Now, that's easier said than done because we have a lot of internal work to do. We all do. But with this belief card, I feel like there's this emphasis on what you believe about yourself. Who do you see yourself as? Who you see yourself as is one of the most important things in this universe, because this directs your attention. This directs your awareness into a certain place, which is growing the garden of your life, which is the secret of the Magician card. But with this belief, if you can see yourself as a specific type of person, and that might be your goal, that might be one of these big changes that is happening for you, is the belief that you have about yourself and who you are. This can have to do with morals. This can have to do with materialism, as in like what job you have, or maybe it has to do with money. Maybe it has to do with relationships. Maybe it has to do with family or friendships. Maybe it has to do with your character. But if you want to see yourself in a specific position and embodying the happiness that you really want in life, you have to believe that that is who you are. That self-perception is absolutely everything. Your life is not happening outside of you. Your life is happening here in the body. Okay? So when situations happen to you, it's all about how you internalize those situations, how you react, how you view them, and how you view yourself moving through those situations. So if you want to see yourself as a high value person, you have to believe you are a high value person now. And I sometimes I don't like that phrase, but that's just what came through me, as high value person. Um, because we're all high value. We are. Some of us, that's the thing, is some of us do not see ourselves as high value. That self-perception is everything, and when we do not see ourselves as high value, we end up having behaviors and draw ourselves into situations that reflect that non-value. All right, so let's see what else we've got for you, pile number one. So I have this Tree of Life Oracle deck, and I'm really excited to see what card we have. Okay, so we have the 19th path, strength or lust, defending the weak, peacekeeping, and sincerity. This is the strength path on the Tree of Life. So, strength is all about your awareness, bringing awareness into the situation, observing the psychological self, being able to deal with the challenges that life hands you, and that will lead us into freedom, and that will lead us into some sort of expansion. So I think you're being called to step into your awareness more, or to observe the self, observe the reactions, uh, really observe the thoughts that are going on in your mind with that Eight of Swords. And I wanted clarity on that Eight of Swords, which is my intention of pulling this card. And that actually makes a lot of sense. That the secret to that Eight of Swords is strength. It is about observing the self. So it is about blinding one sense to get in touch with all of the others. And sometimes we blind a sense by going through a period of mental anxieties, that we are kind of blinded by all of these other senses by focusing on that mental anxiety. So sometimes we want to go ahead and reverse that and get very clear, observe the mental body, observe the mental anxieties, and sometimes that will dissolve them. Then we're in a more clear place to be able to make better decisions. And that is where we are developing our strength and our resilience to be able to handle challenges that life throws at us, which is everything. That is going to be the key to your success. Okay, so we have these sacred geometry cards, and let's see what we've got for you. Pawn number 1, we have romantic love. And some of you are probably already in relationships, or some of you might not be interested in relationships or you're dating. I know that there's all kinds of different people who are watching this. So you can kind of fit this to your situation, but I'm going to go ahead and read this for you. It says, "The frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience and reflection of a conscious lover." And the thing about this is, I don't believe that we need another person to awaken us or to feel conscious connection. We don't need it, but if it's something that you're called to have in your life, or it's something that you do have in your life, using this relationship, this romantic relationship, can be a very powerful tool to your awakening, because being with another person is what it is you are divinity having an intimate experience with divinity. We are all divinity within a human body. And when we do find ourselves in a romantic relationship, we are seeing that divinity within that person. Now, we have some romantic relationships that are based solely on the physical and that don't really go very far beyond that. That's going to be very difficult to hold on to. That's going to be very difficult to find yourself in an area of fulfillment. So maybe this fulfillment that we're looking for has to do with relationships, and it has to do with romantic love or other types of love, whether that is family or friendships or having a community. But this is a place where we develop an intimacy with other people, and that intimacy is ultimately about divinity. It is about seeing something beautiful within another person. So I think that finding that within everywhere that you look is also going to be key to finding fulfillment here in the present moment. All right, so I have these inner child oracle cards, and I love these. For you, we have, "It's okay to be misunderstood. Perception is not always based on the truth." It is okay to be misunderstood. Let yourself be misunderstood. Let yourself be different. Let yourself go through the flow of life and let people disagree with you. If everybody agreed with you and everybody was on your side, this would be a very boring life. It really would. You need people who are opposing you and are against you, or people who don't understand you. There's that thought about like dealing with the haters. Me on this platform, making videos very publicly, you generate people who dislike your content, or you generate people who cannot get on board with what you're saying or strongly oppose what you're saying. You need those people to help challenge you. Sometimes they have a point. Sometimes if it's done in a respectful way, and sometimes they can lead you into looking in different directions and finding out new information. Most of the time, they do not have a point. Most of the time, think about it like this. If somebody wants to tear you down in any type of way, think about how their state of consciousness is. Especially if you're putting yourself out there on the line when it has to do with spirituality, or maybe you're sharing a message when it has to do with spirituality, or sharing your most authentic self, sharing your truth with people, and you're misunderstood. People who are healthy and people who are going in their own direction don't comment on what you're doing in a negative way. They don't have the time, they don't have the energy to comment on in a negative way on you in your life. If they do comment in a negative way on you or your life or your message or what you're doing in life, then they have their own issues to work through. They have their own stuff that they need to work on. So that's just something that I feel called to tell you at this time. All right, let's see what else we have. These are magical symbols cards. We have fairy magic, and I always get lost when I pull this card because fairy stuff is just not something that resonates with me or fits with me, but maybe it does for you. Maybe fairy magic is something that you do feel called to work through. If so, this is a symbol that you can work with. It says, respectfully work with the fairies to achieve your goals. This can have to do with planning a garden, working with the element of earth too. And the card number here is 13, so I'm not sure if that's significant for some of you people. And I end every reading out with an affirmation card. So let's see what affirmation we have for you, pile number 1. It says, allow. You're being asked to open your energy field and take down your walls of protection in order to allow goodness into your life. Sometimes without even realizing it, we block ourselves from the flow of life. It's safe to open yourself back up. And that goes back to that very first card that we pulled, which was the Fool, where we're not really worried about what's going on in the future. We're not really worried about where we've been and ruminating. We're fully here in the present moment, which is that center of this reading. And at this time, you're being asked to allow. Just let the energy flow as it needs to and take these barriers down, take these walls down. Sometimes it's important to have boundaries. Most of the time, it's important to have boundaries. We set our boundaries. Sometimes we set them too strong. Sometimes we set them so strong that it's like building a wall between us and somebody else, especially if this has to do with a romantic relationship. The key to holding a strong romantic relationship is being safe enough to take those walls down and be vulnerable with another person. And if we can't do that, then it's likely that this isn't something that is going to be as fruitful for a long period of time. We really need to be able to take our walls down, because if we're going to be in a romantic relationship, we need to be vulnerable and take our walls down. Doesn't mean that we don't have boundaries, because we still need boundaries, but we need to take the brick walls, the really strong, tough walls. We need to take those down, so that we can actually be seen, heard, and understood by another person. So thank you all so much for watching this reading. I hope that everybody enjoys the rest of their day. If you want a personal reading for me, you can check them out on my website. I do offer personal readings, and I also offer a tarot course where I teach tarot hand in hand with Kabbalah, and that also might be something that's interesting to you. Those are all in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time. Hey everybody that chose pile number 2, welcome to your reading. This is what you need to hear at this moment, and this is also about the big changes that are happening in your life. So first of all, we have this unconditional love card, and this is card number 34. Unconditional love here is about the unconditional love of the universe, finding the divinity that's not just within the self, but the divinity that's all around you. You might be called to meditate on the sun at this time, because the sun is this force, it's this giant energy ball which we are revolving around. And because of this ever-giving life source, we are able to have food and nourishment. We are on a planet that sustains life and maintains life, all because of this beautiful thing called the sun, which gives us energy, gives energy to the plants, gives energy to the animals, gives energy to the trees that we breathe oxygen from. This sun is absolutely everything. So meditating on that will help remind you of everything that supports you, in life. So the first card we have here is the Four of Wands. And this is typically about some sort of celebration. This is really exciting. This is about, well, it can be about marriage. It can be about a graduation. Whatever it is, it's a gateway. It's an initiation into the next phase of life. And we have this card coming up in your emotional sphere. So this is going to be some big transformation that's happening for you emotionally, which is actually really, really exciting and good for you. Then we have the Eight of Cups, and that is walking away from something that that we have put a lot of emotional energy into. The Eight of Cups is well, it can be about walking away from some relationship, and I'm not saying you're going to walk away from a relationship. I'm just saying that you might be walking away from something that you have been emotionally invested in. It could be a relationship, it could be a friendship, but this can also be something that was initially very pleasurable, and it turned out to not be over time. So that could be anything like an addiction, or just something that we have not gained much benefits from it. Like, we gained some benefits from it in the beginning. It started to become too much. We are developing our emotional maturity and walking away from something that we know is not good for us. So, the Eight of Cups is actually a very positive card here in this situation. Also, with that Four of Wands, if you are committing to something, you are leaving an old stage of life and entering a new stage of life. The Eight of Cups can represent what we're walking away from, and it can be a little sad. But you have better things on the horizon. Much, much better things on the horizon. Speaking of the sun, we don't have the sun, but we do have the Lover's card. And again, there's this, it can be about a relationship, but not all of you are going to resonate with that. So, my favorite meaning of the Lover's card is it is about your consciousness. It is about bringing things to light and the marriage of your consciousness, the commitment. You are committed to your consciousness and you are committed to your path. We have this coming out in the spiritual sphere of this reading. So, spiritually, you are committing to yourself and your consciousness. So, if this could be a mantra for you going forward, I want you to say, I am committed to me. I am committed to the consciousness that is within me. I'm committed to the consciousness that I am. I'm committed to my spiritual path. Repeat this mantra throughout the day. I swear by this. Keep this alive within you. Keep that consciousness alive. Okay, so with this Lover's card, there is the sun in the background. And that was that sun that we were talking about at the beginning of the reading, and remembering that the sun is always nourishing the life on earth. But also keep in mind about your solar consciousness or your consciousness. Your consciousness is always giving life to your body. Just as that sun is giving life to the earth, your consciousness is always giving life to your body. Without your consciousness, your body would not be moving and doing all of the things that it does. So, your consciousness is always there, supporting you every step of the way. So, be there for it. Okay. That was very specific, I think, for some of you. Let's see what we have for the physicalities, financial, and environment. We have the King of Pentacles, which is about the environment and externalizing wealth, knowing that you have what it takes to create the wealth that it is that you want in your life. So it can definitely be about money, but it can also be about the home, manifesting the home that you want or creating that home that you want, but really going for it. You really know how to get it and to externalize all of these things that it is that you truly want. So I feel like for a lot of you, this is going to have to do with money. This is going to have to do with career, making changes with your career. And I'm not saying to change your career or quit your job or go get a different job or anything like that, but I'm saying that the future for you looks like you are gaining an immense amount of stability and maturity when it comes to your finances. So this is really good. This is really positive. And I feel like a big part of that maturity that comes with your finances is knowing that you're always provided for, knowing that you always have support. So keep reminding yourself that that sun is always giving life to your body. The sun is always giving life to the earth, and really meditate on that. That will put you in that higher state of consciousness to be able to I guess withstand the changes that are coming, and to also hold space for the finances and the career and the shifts that are coming within those spheres of your life. All right, so let's get some more clarity. Let's pull some oracle cards. All right, so Moonology, we have a new romantic cycle begins. Pile 1 also had this emphasis on romance. New moon in Libra, we have a new romantic cycle begins. Some of you are in relationships. Some of you are looking for a relationship. Some of you might have just gotten out of one. Some of you don't want one, don't care. We're all different when it comes to that. But with this new romantic cycle, we also have new moon in Libra. And Libra is all about balance, and our new moon is about a blank slate. Okay, so something new is beginning. So this can be about balance, a balance with the conscious and subconscious for those of you who are more interested in the esoteric side and are not interested in a relationship. So we are balancing out these aspects of us, which goes hand in hand with that Lover's card. For some of us, this is going to be about a relationship. So if you are in a relationship, something new is shifting within that relationship. So this is going to be about a new perspective within the relationship, a new appreciation, and maybe it has to do with that sun meditation that we're talking about. And then those of us who are looking for a relationship, especially if you feel discouraged about that, remember about how much supports you. Remember the support that you have. And this can go deeper. We're talking about the sun supporting life on the earth. We're talking about the ecosystem supporting you, earth supporting you. We're also talking about friends and family that you might have who might be supporting you. Some of us don't have that, but if you don't have that, focus even more on these other aspects that are supporting you and holding you up. Think about the building that you're in, and the floor supports you. The chair that you're sitting in supports you. Think about everything that supports you and everything that loves you, or everything that is neutral towards you too. Okay. We have these Tree of Life oracle cards, and these are some of my favorite cards on this planet. Let's see. We have Hod, Splendor, Determination, Communication, and Initiative. Hod is this sphere on the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, which is associated with Mercury. And this is about the internal strength that we have. We find that within this sphere. And also, there's this emphasis on learning, communication, education, skill, also magic, manifestation. So really get in touch with those things at this time. I think that that's a big thing that's coming for you, is a lot of lessons being learned, but not necessarily, not in a harsh way, not in a difficult way. These are lessons that you are actually actively seeking and learning them. You are looking for knowledge, and you are learning so much by the things that you are internalizing. So this is really, really positive. So you might be inspired to do something like take a course, or go back to school, or really develop your communication skills in some way, or develop your magic skills or manifesting skills in whatever way that might look like. Okay, so let's see what else we have for you. Pile number 2. Oh, we have Earth, and we were talking about sun and Earth and all of that. It says, I'm going to read this off camera. It says, the frequency of Earth activates our deep connection to this physical plane by showing us the beauty of all aspects of our Great Mother and revealing the more ethereal, spiritual aspects of our nature. Again, this goes back to that meditation I was talking about. Focus on the beauty of the earth, the beauty of the sun, and the way that the sun affects the life on earth. This could even go into meditating on the seasons and the beauty of the seasons and the feelings that are invoked as the seasons are changing. Here in America, we are entering fall, or we've entered fall, but now we're actually really starting to feel the fall, feel the autumn time. And it invokes feelings within you, and it makes you, it brings back memories from childhood, or even just a few years ago as the season turned to fall in the last few years. It just brings up certain things. It's so funny how that happens. So really reflect on that too. Getting in touch with these things, getting in touch with the cycle of the earth. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull this Inner Child Oracle deck. I love these cards. These are absolutely amazing when you're called to do inner child work. Uh, it says there is hope ahead. And I feel like this is connected to that Eight of Cups. It says, have courage and take heart, for there is hope. There is hope. So if you ever feel discouraged about anything, about where you're going, about what you want, and feeling like you're not getting anywhere, have hope. Keep your faith alive that this is something that you want, that this is something that is coming for you. I feel like things are about to shift for you in a really big way, and it's going to be extremely powerful in confirming that you're on the right path and that you're heading in the right direction. All right. So these are symbols that you can work with. You can put energy into them. You can draw them as you're putting energy into them. We have goddess, healing feminine energy, and that is connected with earth. That is connected with earth. It's kind of connect. Well, the sun is really a masculine figure. But you can switch these around because there is masculine within the feminine and there is feminine within the masculine. There's that yin and yang aspect. So there are divine feminine archetypes which are portrayed with the sun, just as there are some masculine archetypes portrayed with the moon. They can go back and forth, but typically we view the sun as a masculine force. Now, with this goddess energy, I feel like we are being called to associate that with the feminine here, associate the sun with that feminine energy here in this situation, and think about how that sun, this star, is always nurturing, and this is related to the star card. The star card is the mother of creation, and is this divine feminine figure associated with light and purity also. So this goddess symbol is something that you can work with. This is about birth and nurturing energy, and I think that this next phase of your life is going to have a lot of emphasis on creating something. Now, it also has to do with the moon, because, we have this crescent here in this card, and the goddess is usually associated with the lunar aspects, the subconscious mind. So we are working on the conscious and the subconscious, which is that meaning of the Lovers card, and also that new moon in Libra. We have the conscious and subconscious energies and finding balance with those. And we are seeing that here too, as we had that emphasis on the sun. Now we're having a little bit of emphasis on the moon, and we have some emphasis on the earth. So I think that you're coming into a place where you're really realizing how your conscious and your subconscious work and the actions that you're taking are manifesting your actual reality. So that's definitely something that you are being called to look at and work on. I end every reading out with some sort of affirmation. So let's see what we have for you, pile number 2. What is the close of this reading? We have give. It says, one of the best feelings we can experience is giving to others. When we do so, we feel lifted up and our lives improve greatly because of someone else's happiness. Think of one way you can give to another today. And I definitely believe that can go into a romantic relationship for some of you who have that emphasis, or also finances. Giving to other people or providing value, even buying a gift for your partner or family or friends, and it makes them happy. Sometimes that feeling of joy is so overwhelming, and it warms your heart and it puts you in a better energy and it makes you feel good. So I think that that's definitely something that you're being called to do at this time and experience and even meditate on. So thank you all so much for joining this video, for watching this reading. Hopefully it resonated with you. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe for more content. I do have a course on learning tarot with Kabbalah, so if that's something that you're interested in, check out the link in the description below. And if you want a private reading from me, check out the link in the description below, because you can definitely book a reading with me. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time. Hey, everybody that chose pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose this card, number 27, Self Worth. With the number 27, I wonder if the number 27 is very important to you, or if you're dealing with Saturn energy, whether you're going through some sort of Saturn return, or dealing with a big part of this Saturn cycle within your natal chart. So, with this self worth card, I think that a big lesson for you at this time is going to be about developing this self worth, and it has to do with your link to divinity, with your link to the divinity that's within the self, and also realizing that you are the creator of your reality and understanding your personal power. And some people get hung up on those words, personal power, as if you control everything around you or something like that, or that it's selfish. But your personal power is the divine power. It is how divinity wants to create reality. How does divinity create reality? It creates through consciousness, it creates through you. So, let's go ahead and jump into the tarot cards that we have for you in your reading. So, pile number 3, what do we have for you? We have the World card to start out. I love this. This is about getting the higher view and becoming the observer. All right, let's see what else we have. It can be about a detachment too. We have the Four of Swords, which is about rest. Rest. Okay. What else? Okay, we have the King of Swords. And let me get one more card, and then I'll go ahead and jump into the interpretations. We have the Page of Pentacles. So we have a couple court cards here. There's this very strong emphasis on your emotional state at this time with this World card, representing you getting in touch with your emotions, not identifying with all of these emotions. The World card being the observer, it has a lot to do with detachment and getting that higher view and higher understanding. It is related to this Saturn energy. It has the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac around the person in the card, which represents kind of a mastery or an understanding of the cycle of consciousness. Okay, so we are working through that as it pertains to our emotions. I feel like many of you who picked this pile might be dealing with some sort of Saturn energy with this Saturn return that you're going through, or you're going through a part of the cycle, whether, the ages for this are usually like 7, 14, 21, age 27, 28, and so on. So like every 7 years we deal with with an important aspect of this Saturn cycle. So kind of do the math or take a look at your birth chart and just see if that resonates with you. If it doesn't, that's okay. That could just mean that Saturn, or discipline or karma, boundaries, limitations, learning lessons, maybe all of these things are really important for you to look at this time. Some of it can be a little bit difficult, a little bit difficult energy, but this doesn't seem like something that you're really struggling with. This kind of seems like something that you're overcoming really quickly and easily, and you're learning big important life lessons. With the Four of Swords, this is about rest and it's about becoming very still. So we have this theme of presence, a lot like pile number 1, who had this theme of presence, but this is coming about in a different way for you. You are, I feel like you are already in that space of being able to stay present. That you have a lot of knowledge, and that this is just the conclusion that you have personally come to, is that you need to stay present, and you're already learning how to do that. The more that you lean into that and the more that you practice presence within everyday life, the more that you are going to create spaciousness. So the Four of Swords is about rest. It is about becoming very still, observing the thoughts, dropping baggage, all of that. But as we do that and we experience that rest, the world completely opens up for us, that World card. And we have that spaciousness for something new to come in. So this means that one of the big changes that's coming for you, if you had If you have been feeling burned out and you feel like you have been just going through it, going through obstacle after obstacle, or just struggling with gaining the energy to complete tasks, whatever that, looks like for you, you're being called to simplify everything and not identify with the overwhelm. Stop saying that you're overwhelmed. Stop saying that you don't have time. Stop, all of these negative thoughts. Just drop the baggage. Who would you be without those thoughts? Just drop it. Instead, if you have this to-do list or you have this daily schedule or whatever it is, this you have a lot of things that you have to get done, just lower your expectations. And I don't mean don't get everything done, but I mean it's okay if some things roll over into the next day. Simplify everyday tasks as much as possible. So that would look like, let's say you go to work and you feel like you have this overwhelming day at work. If you work in an office and you have all these responsibilities with emails, or let's just say it's something like that. Go into the office and just say, I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to lower my expectations. I'm not going to go above and beyond. I'm just going to answer some emails. I can do that. I can look at some emails. Not a big deal. When I get home, the kids and the laundry and this and that and blah, 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 blah. No, lower your expectations. I just have to get a meal, food on the table for my kids and get them into bed. Simple as that. What happens when you lower your expectations and you take off that baggage of that overwhelm, it makes your daily tasks easier and they run smoother. And you find that you actually might get more done by taking that weight off of your shoulders. You might actually find the energy and motivation to kind of keep going after you've gained a little bit of momentum and you've cleared that space in your mind. So that's a message for some of you that's very specific, but it's definitely something that has helped me out, and I can see it here with that Four of Swords in the world. That spaciousness really opens up when you get very still and you lower your expectations. The King of Swords is about that mental clarity. And that goes hand in hand with this. This is about direct and clear communication. You have something that you want to do and you do it, you follow through. Emotions are not really involved much here with the King of Swords. It's just you say what you mean what you say, you do what you say, and you say what you do. It's very clear cut. There's no lies. It's really direct, truth oriented, and there's follow through. With the Page of Pentacles, this is representing some sort of new opportunity. The page is giving an offer, and this could be you giving an offer or you developing this new sense of your environment or getting a new perspective on your environment, I think. And this can also be a love for stability, a love for getting things done in a certain way, a love for the home, anything that has to do with the element earth, love of finances. I'm not sure if I already said career. I'm really just going really fast through this because I have some confirmation cards I want to lay out. But the Page of Pentacles really represents you getting that new perspective when it comes to your environment, when it comes to your career and finances. So let's go ahead and pull some of these oracle cards. So pile number 3, we have Hold Your Vision, Fixed Moon. So if you have something that you are working towards or you have this goal, focus on it. Hold your vision. Do not waver. Do not waver on it. I also feel like this is a time for you where you're not supposed to be focused on 10 million things, and that could be why you've been feeling overwhelmed. You want to focus on one specific thing or focus on one thing at a time. Don't get caught up in trying to do 10 million things. Just focus on one thing at a time. You've got this. Okay, let's see what else we've got. I swear. Okay, the World card is associated with that detachment, being the observer, the dissolution of self, big lessons being learned, knowledge, Saturn being about knowledge. We also have Da'ath, which means knowledge on the Tree of Life. It's the abyss. It says secrets and lessons yet to be realized. So we've been talking about self-worth. We've been talking about the lessons with the world card. Also with these two having to do with this Saturn energy. And then we have also lessons, which is also to do with Saturn energy. Lots of synchronicities here within this reading, a lot. This has so much to do with you detaching from certain things, observing the emotional body, observing the pain body, lowering your expectations when it comes to what you produce and just living more in the moment, becoming very present. You'll be surprised by the spaciousness that opens up when you do this. And with these lessons yet to be realized, this big change that's coming for you is going to teach you lot, a lot of lessons. You're going to be gaining a lot of knowledge very quickly, very soon. And this does not necessarily mean that it's going to be painful. Actually, all of this is extremely positive. Nothing is really out of order. Everything is going exactly the way that it should be going. And it seems like things are actually going to be easier for you. Even like the more you become present and the more that you can be here in this moment and deal with one thing at a time and lower these expectations, the easier things are going to get for you and the more things are going to kind of speed up. So the more that you slow down, the more things are going to speed up. And that's a really interesting paradox. And I don't mean speed up in a bad way. I mean, you're going to be reaching your goals a lot quicker. Okay, so I have these sacred geometry cards. Let's go ahead and see what we've got for you. Pile number 3, sacred geometry. Oh, we have discernment, card number 20. I'm going to go ahead and read this. Off the camera, it says the frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and the people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. More synchronicities. This has a huge emphasis on detachment. So if you're worried about what other people think of you, or you're worried when people are mad with you or upset with you, or that you're upset with yourself, you are going to stop judging yourself and you're going to stop judging other people. You're going to be able to hold space for people without judgment. Just sitting there being present with them and allowing somebody to be exactly who they are, even if that's not particularly how you would want them to be, you are accepting them for who they are and taking it for what it is and letting it be what it is. That doesn't mean that you don't have boundaries. Okay, if somebody's wronging you, you can say your piece and you can walk away. You can definitely set your boundaries. But don't be upset when somebody does not meet your expectations of them. And don't be upset when somebody crosses. Well, it's normal to be upset when somebody crosses your boundaries. Um, don't judge yourself for being upset, but also don't judge them for crossing your boundaries because they're just showing you who they are. They're just showing you who they are. And you do with that information what you will. You don't have to judge them. You don't have to overanalyze the situation. You don't have to get all of your emotional self involved and all of your pain body involved. Just let it be what it is. And if you have to walk away from something, then walk away from something. These are your lessons to learn. It's time for you to learn who you are inside and your worth, and come from that place of worth. Take action from that place of worth. So, yes, discernment is going to be very big when it comes to the situation in this next chapter of your life. Okay, we have these inner child oracle cards, and I feel like we're going to get something good for you. It says flow with the rhythm, get lost in the rhythm of movement today. So whatever that looks like for you, if that's going outside and playing, if it's exploring, if it's just the movement of exercise, going for a walk, getting lost in nature, cleaning the home. All of these things are getting in that flow with the movement, getting in the flow with rhythm. So I have these magical symbols, cards that you can work with. You can put energy into them. You can put energy into them while you draw them, meditate on them. You have prosperity. It says a prosperous business with riches and success. So, this is definitely a symbol that you'll want to work with if you're building a business, or you're trying to gain prosperity in your life, uh, gaining more money, gaining more stability, more freedom when it comes to time. Work with the symbol for prosperity. Just don't be so attached to the actual outcome and what will happen in the future. Focus on now and focus on the processes. And maybe that's the vision that you're holding on to. Maybe it has to do with prosperity. Okay? Now, I end every reading out with some sort of affirmation. So I'm curious what we have for you, pile number 3. What is the affirmation to close out this reading? We have keep going. This card is wonderful. Actually, I pulled this card just before I got something that I've been working really hard for several years. So, important card. It says keep going. It says, it may feel as though you've been on this path or journey for so long, and you may even wonder if you're making any progress towards your dreams. This is a message, or this message is a loving reminder for you to keep going. You're almost there, so do not stop here. Again, there's that message of lowering our expectations, taking it one step at a time, do one thing at a time, focus on the processes, stop focusing on the outcome, just do what you can. Take that bag of overwhelm off your shoulders and keep going. Do not stop. Do not give up. You are almost to the destination that you want to be at. And it probably has a lot to do with prosperity. So, thank you all so much for joining this video, for watching this reading. Hopefully it resonated with you. If it did, please leave a like. Leave a comment and subscribe for more content. If you want a personal reading done by me, you can check out the link in the description below to book a reading with me. I also have a course right now where I'm teaching Kabbalah and Tarot together. So if you're interested in learning these two traditions together at the same time and how they relate to each other, check out the course. That is also linked in the description below. It starts on October 22nd. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time.